What's poppin', world? Y'all tapped in with the Head of the Game podcast. Yet once again, got another video I dropped today. Y'all read the title? Let's get right into it. Now you can call this maybe a call to action or a reality check for some of y'all, but I do feel like some of y'all may need to hear this, right? Because I think like what we think as adulting is so. I feel like being on social media can indoctrinate you to the point to where you feel like you're either behind in life or you're doing it wrong, and some of that may be the reality, right? But I need y'all to sit up there and think about this, is that y'all behind, y'all paycheck to paycheck, completely understandable, especially if you very limited with financial literacy and how to visibly see money for what it is, and taking care of your responsibilities and your obligations and things like that, right? But I do feel like this may be the majority, right? And I'm excluding myself because there's certain things working in my favor that. But just to get to the point, just generalizing, we do live above our means, right? We got a job to pay a certain amount a year. We're paying a certain amount of rent just because we need to have certain amenities. We go out and finance these cars that ain't gonna be worth a damn in the next 4 to 5, probably not even the next 3 years. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it depreciates. If it's new, if you get a used car, that could be a better option. But I'm just gonna keep it honest with y'all, right? Now this might be controversial, but I probably would not want to own a car note unless I own a house or some kind of property, right? Condo, whatever. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. When you take out your money out the bank account and you put it into cold hard cash and you're spreading it out across the floor or on the table, you then realize that your debt to income ratio is a hindrance towards you not only getting to the next level, because I feel like a lot of people, if they put their mind to it, they can get to the next level. It's sustaining that level of excellence over a long period of time. That's where your mettle is going to be tested. When things go wrong or you got to make certain adjustments, so on and so forth. And I'm going to keep it honest with y'all, man. Like I said, I think we just live above our means, and I'm just talking specifically to the millennials, and most definitely the Gen X, because the Gen X did not see an opportunity of the world without the internet, right? The world without the internet, there was a limited amount of information, so I feel like you enjoy life, right? Because what do they say about comparison? Comparison is the thief of joy. So if you're on the internet, you're looking across the country and people with different backgrounds and upbringings, and they're showing you a life that you feel like you can live, or you're asking like, why could that be me, without actually factoring all the variables that got that person to that place. Whether it was a support system, or maybe they had a certain level of drive, or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, I feel like this generation moving forward needs to adopt a minimalist lifestyle. Just starting out. If you don't own your crib, you don't own your car, everything just financed, and you just robbing your future self, if you will, just so that you can make your present more. You're just trying to prop it up to make it look like you're doing something, but you're really not. Those long-term decisions are going to come back, and they're going to have repercussions if not handled right. Now, if you understand finances, you understand how to handle debt, then yeah, okay, finance something. If you have an ecosystem, or you have a analytical ratio of how your money goes in and your money comes out, your income, your outcome, right? But I do see on the internet people just, oh yeah, paycheck to paycheck. I'm over here eating noodles, this, and that. And it's not like I can't relate. You feel me? And it's not even to say I'm not in that situation to a certain extent, right? I'm better off somewhat to where I was, but I'm not too far away from where I was, right? So I'm not going to make any declarations like, look at me, because I'm not the example of the greatest success story, right? But in all actuality, right, we spend too much. And the necessary evil of this country is that we do live paycheck to paycheck. Because if everybody's fiscally responsible with their money, I feel like the whole economy would collapse. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. If people aren't pushing their products or it's not being sold, it's not going to be an attractive hub for people to live through. Because if you go to other cultures and other countries, and yeah, each situation got their own set of problems. So it's not saying one place is better than the other. But what I'm saying is when it comes down to money, you can look at, when you go to India, you go to China, you go to Japan, there's a culture of saving your money up. Like, that's impressive. You feel me? Not flexing. The biggest flex is how much money you saving, not how much money you spending. Right? But it's all about mindset, right? What is your value system? If you want status, and I feel like our community is probably most guilty of this. What was the statistic that I think we buy 3 times the amount of Mercedes Benzes as our, white counterparts, but we only have 1/3 of their wealth. So the way they look at money is different. And like I said, each ethnic group got their own slew of problems. But just staying on the money topic is that it's social programming. When you go online, what do you see? You see all these streamers. You see all these people just traveling and eating food and eating out and just living their life up, having a blast. They're not gonna show you they're gonna only show you the highlights, not the long nights, when people were streaming and only 1 or 2 people was watching. They're not gonna. Not to say they wouldn't show you, but more so times than not, you're not gonna see that. My point is that we live above our means. We're not responsible, and people capitalize off that irresponsibility. Hence, the society we live in, capitalism. If we're responsible over our own finances, there would be nothing to take advantage of or to capitalize on, because everybody's safeguarding their own position instead of helping the next man or the next person elevate and inflate their lives to a whole new level, right? So hopefully this touch somebody out there, or hit somebody and gave them some kind of eye-opening reality. Is it going to change overnight? Most things don't, unless something catastrophic or something dramatic happens. But all in all, that's all I got for y'all, man. So thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm gone.